Okay, grade 12's on exercise 5, number 8. So let's see what's useful over here. First term of a GP is 27, and the last term is 8. So let's just jot those things down. The first term, A equals 27, and the last term is 8. So in other words, Tn equals 8, the nth term, where n is the number of terms. Now, we know that for any geometric progression, Tn equals ARn minus 1. So this information here, we can say, well, Tn equals ARn minus 1. N, well, wait, we don't know what n is, so I'm just going to leave that as n minus 1. But we do know that the first term is 27, so let's just change that to 27. Okay, so there's a bit of an equation. If we want to, I always get into the habit of just simplifying these down a little bit as I go, r to the n minus 1. And we're going to manipulate that a bit further soon enough because, I don't know, the questions, well, you'll see. Okay, so the other part of information we're given is the sum of the series is 65. So the sum of the series is 65. And we know what our formula for the sum of a series is, and that is Sn equals a r to the n minus 1 over r minus 1. Or 1 minus r to the n over 1 minus r. It doesn't matter which version. I'm just going to stick to this version for now. And again, we could divide maybe both sides by 27, or we could multiply by r minus 1. I think what's going to be useful here is let's just multiply by r minus 1 so we don't have that fraction anymore. So that equals 27 r to the n minus 27. I don't know, it just feels a bit simpler. I'm always in that habit of just trying to get things a bit neater. And, well, we can leave that for now if we want. And where we're going to try get to is replace this r to the n with something using this formula that we had over here. So a simultaneous where we can put that in there. Okay, so let's split this r to the n minus 1 to r to the n times r to the minus 1, like you did previously when you used to do a split and factorize, which means that we're a lot closer to getting r to the n by itself, because then we can just sub that in to that equation over there. So to do that, we can think, well, r to the n times r to the minus 1, well, we could multiply both sides perhaps by r. So if we multiplied this side of the equation by r, then these two here would just be the number 1. In other words, they would sort of cancel each other out. And what you do on one side, you do on the other. So we could say, well, times by r on that side, times by r on that side. So 8 over 27, I want that color, 8 over 27r equals r to the n. Another way of looking at it, just while we're here, is to say r to the n times r to the minus 1 is the same as r to the n times 1 over r. So our equation could have looked something like that, and then times both sides by r so that they cancel out there. I don't know, just another way of looking at it. Okay, so now we've got r to the n, which is written as 8 over 27r, which we can sub into that formula, or that equation at least. 65r minus 65 equals 27, and that we can write as 8 over 27, because that's another way of writing r to the n, minus 27. Now we've got an equation, 8 over 27r, thank you. And that's, an equation that's just got r in it. So we can solve our equation, and, well, I'm just going to take that up here. So we still get everything up on the screen. 65r minus 65. The 27s are going to cancel, and we're going to have 8r, so subtract 8r from both sides. And this side we got minus 27, and we're going to add that 65. Okay, 65 minus 8. Oh, so early in the day for these things. So let's see. 65 minus 8. Luckily, I got my calculator handy here, right? So 57 r equals minus 27 plus 65, 38. So R is 38 over 57, which I'm sure simplifies down to something a lot easier. It does, of course, indeed. 2 over 3. Okay, so we've got what R is. And wait a second, we probably want to find out how many terms there are. So we just answered question A, determine the common ratio R. And now the second part of the question, determine how many terms there are in the series. In other words, determine n. Well, we've got this equation here that we're looking at earlier. And this is an equation that links R and n together. So it feels like one that we could sub in to get our value of R if we wanted. So 8 over 27 times 2 over 3 equals R 2 over 3 to the power of n. Well, 8 over 27, you could punch this in your calculator. What's this? 16 over 81. Maybe I do need my calculator after all. But this is 2 cubed times 2. So that's 2 to the 4. This is 3 cubed times 3. So that's 3 to the 4. So 2 over 3 to the 4 equals, I'm just going to put on this side because I'm in the way. That's 2 over 3 to the n. So clearly n equals 4. Well, that was that. That was fun. Hope it was useful.